The San Diego Jam Knot. This is the Monster Knot Shakedown. Hi, I'm Warren. You're watching Toit Fishing. Hope you enjoyed our how-to video on the San Diego Jam Knot. This is a fantastic knot to learn, and in fact is very similar to the Pitzen Knot. It would be interesting to know which knot was tied first. I'll take a punt at answering that later on, but for now, let's get this knot unwrapped and see what this Renegade commercial knot's got in store. It appears a lot of cool stuff comes out of San Diego. The Padres, the Chargers, really famous beach called Wamping. Now, I'm not sure what that even means. You could ask two people what Wamping is and I'll bet it's totally different and probably not naughty at all. So it probably happened a bit like this. Jim Bob was sitting on the banks of the El Capitan in his boat, probably had a few dupes. That's beers for the most of you. And he's like, what happens if I tie the clinch knot upside down? Then to his amazement, he's like, are you kidding me? Nothing, nada, zilcho. Well, it is what it is. I hope I got that right for you Americans. So then he's like, damn, I thought I was going to create a new knot for the world, yeah? So, few more beers, nothing's biting, probably because he forgot to put his bait on about 2.5 hours ago, and out of the blue, out of the bubbles comes this miraculous idea. What happens if I put the loop through the top also? I did it, that's it, the best knot ever. So he looks down and he's sadder than a sack of potatoes. My dop's done. So just a quick reminder on the clinch knot and how you can tie this knot in 3 different ways. Method 1, where you wrap 5 wraps up, then tuck the line through the bottom and pull the standing end. The second method I showed you is useful for thicker lines, where you wrap 3 wraps up, 2 wraps down, then tuck it through the bottom and pull the standing end. And the third method is this, where you pass the line through and then grab it at the top end, pinch it with your right hand, and then wind it down the line 5 times and tuck it through the bottom and then pull the standing end. It's great that you can use this to tie the same knot 3 different ways, and although they all produce the same outcome, they're all beneficial in their own way, especially using the up and down trick for thicker lines, and the first method that's so good, it's super quick, and the last method is great as it leads on to many other knots like the Pitzen Knot and like the San Diego Jam Knot. It's actually very similar to the improved clinch knot as far as having this double tuck or double pass through loop concept, but differs slightly in the final outcome of the tag end, where the improved clinch knot, the twists are allowed to unwind and compact the tag end on the lower end of the knot, whereas the San Diego Jam Knot allows the tag end to exit out the top of the knot. This concept works really well as the upside down tied version of the clinch knot allows the exiting tag to stay at the end of the knot. So again, it's a knot that was created to alleviate a problem with the clinch knot, as these knots have a really bad habit of pulling and probably costing the tuna fleets a lot of money, hence the alternate version was born. It's also impractical and time consuming to put 30 wraps on your line if you're tying braid with the clinch knot. You don't want to be doing that. So, I hope you've been practicing the grip and tip I showed you in the how-to video. It'll really be helpful here as you need a few extra fingers to help you tie this knot. I want to also show you an additional tip here in tying this knot, as it's how the knot would have been tied, and it's tied by a lot of guys still running tuna boats out of San Diego. The hand trick is all very well and good, but imagine you had 3 hands to tie this knot. And imagine how nicely you could lay the line in the knot and keep it tight while tying. Well, this is where the railing trick comes into play, or the rod stand trick, especially on a bouncing boat or on pier fishing. Put the line through the hook and then hook the fishing hook onto the railing. So now you have 2 hands free to tie the knot. Easy tip really, but makes all the difference. So on any clinch knot, the tightest region of the knot is the top of the clinch knot. This is really evident on braided lines. Let me show you here. You will see the wraps nearest the standing end of the line bind down really tightly. So this knot takes advantage of this concept, and the final tag through pass or tuck is exactly in this region. This is the strongest feature on this knot. It secures the tag end in exactly this area. And not only that, but the tag is secured under the first loop also. So if you're having problems with securing your tag end, this knot is a must. It's great, and it does it in 2 places. However, I would also insist you leave the tag at least 3mm or 1/8 of an inch in length, as this may fail if left short. There's only 2 criticisms I have for this knot. The first one is this: the knot's slightly complicated for the youngsters. If I was a parent, I'd certainly be showing my kids how to tie the Palomar knot, how to tie the clinch knot, something like that. The second issue I have with the knot is the tag exits at 90 degrees to the knot. Now for the most, this probably doesn't matter whatsoever. It's more of a visual frustrating thing, and possibly an issue for weeded areas in freshwater fishing, bass fishing, something like that. So as always, wet your knot when tying. There's always some sort of friction in this knot, although mainly with fluorocarbon and monofilament. However, I'd recommend wetting all knots. This friction that is generated internally has a detrimental effect on the line, and this will compromise the integrity of the fishing knot and the final strength of your line. The lubrication also helps with forming the knot as it takes shape, and it's a lot easier to pull, especially with monofilament where it's slightly sticky. So that's it. This is Toit Fishing. I hope you enjoyed the material today. This is a must not know for all fishermen. Great knot for so many hard pulling adversaries out there. Make sure you learn this one. Take care and keep tying neat, clean, strong knots. Oh, and one last thing, this is probably a massive divider. Really important question is, are you a peanut butter and syrup kind of guy like me, or are you a peanut butter and jam kind of guy like those folks down where the Padres come from? It would be great to hear from you guys. Please let us know if you enjoyed this episode. Please like, please subscribe, and please get on our website. Cheers guys and girls. Alright, one final tip on this knot: make sure when you're tying it, the tag end and the standing end exit out the back of the knot. If you're doing 4 wraps on it, you'll end up with a full 4 wraps then going around the knot. If you do sort of 3.5, you'll find the line doesn't go straight from the top to the bottom, it's slightly angled to one side. But if you've done it with a full amount of wraps and the 2 are coming out the back, that's the correct way. It's going to be neat and straight from the top to the bottom. It does make a better knot of it. Yeah, and enjoy tying a new knot. And the world's strongest knot, episode 8. On this machine, we're going to find out exactly how good this knot is on braid, on monofilament, on fluorocarbon. Can't wait. Will it hold up? Especially after that debacle we had with the Pitzen Knot. I mean, what was that all about? Anyway, the knots going on this machine, £100, £80, £50, £30, £10, all reviewed, tons and tons of knots. We're going to tell you how many wraps, we're going to tell you how strong it is compared to the actual main line. We tested so many knots on this thing. We'll find out if it holds up. Thanks for joining us this evening. Cheers guys and girls. Stay tight, stay toy, and tight lines. Cheers guys and girls.